Whilst your graphical objects sit next to each other, there is no need for you to worry about stacking order. Stacking order only comes to play when objects effectively overlap. So if I take the stacking order workbook and we have here an apple and move that across to the screenshot, you'll see the apple obscures the screenshot of the working file because the stacking order of the apple is much higher than that of the screenshot. If we take our little turtle here and move that across, that then obscures both the apple and the screenshot. And finally, let's bring across the smart art. And you'll find that that then obscures where there are circles, any objects behind it. Now the stacking order in Excel is determined by default by the order in which you add the objects. So these objects have been added in the order of 1 the screenshot, 2 the apple, 3 the turtle, and 4 the smart art. You're going to need to be able to change that stacking order at some point. So let's take our little turtle and move him over here. And what I would quite like is for this turtle to be the background. So let's resize him. And I would like to put the apple here. But if I bring the apple across, it actually goes behind the turtle. So I need to move either the stacking order of the apple higher, so it's above the turtle, or move the stacking order of the turtle backwards, so it's behind the apple. In essence, it doesn't really matter which way you do that, but it depends on any other objects you might have. So these ones here. Now, when you select an object, whether that's an image or a smart art or a drawn shape, you'll find that on its relevant ribbon, so in this case we have an image selected, so it's the Picture Tools ribbon, is the Arrange option. Now here we have Bring Forward and Send Backwards. So my apple is there. I effectively want to bring it forwards in the stacking order because I want to come further to the front. So under Bring Forward, there are actually 2 options. One is to bring forward, in which case it will move the apple up the stacking order 1 layer. Or bring to the front will bring it right to the front of every single other object on your worksheet. So if I say bring to front, this apple will now be at the front not only of the turtle, but the smart art and the screenshot. So I can now place my apple pretty much there in the path of this turtle. It's quite a big apple for the poor little thing to eat, so why don't we resize downwards? Much better. So we can change the stacking order of any object. Let's take the smart art. We bring that across, and it actually is in front, but it's behind the apple. See how it goes behind the apple? Because we told the apple to come right to the front. With the smart art object selected, we go to Smart Art Tools, Format, and you see it has an Arrange option, and in the drop-down I have the same 2 bits, Bring Forward or Send Backwards. Well, I'd like to bring this forward 1 step, and that brings it in front of the apple. So I move my object and it will now obscure the apple. The last object we have here is a screenshot. I move that across and it sits behind the turtle because it has a lower stacking order, but it too can have its stacking level changed. So we make sure it's selected. We go to Picture Tools Format and let's say Bring Forward. So bring it forward 1 step, and that's enough for it to come in front of the turtle. Now, when you start to bring things forwards and backwards, you'll only be able to see through where an object is transparent. So I can't see through this white area here of my screenshot, but I can see past the circles and the arrows of my smart art object because it has a transparent background. Now, if you have an image, you can make it a transparent background by selecting the image. Make sure you can see the Picture Tools Format, and over on the left we have Remove Background. Give that a click. You'll see it makes everything purple that will become transparent. So if I click Keep Changes, everything has disappeared. All the text has all been made transparent. So it's gone a little bit over the top. Let's undo. When you have, in this case, some small patches of colour on a solid white background, the Remove Background tool is not actually the right one to be using. What we need to be using is under the Colour option here. We have a little button here that says Set Transparent Colour. If I choose that, I can then come into my image and you can see the cursor is now like a pencil with an arrow at the end, and I can click on this white area and it makes everything that's white transparent. And that's more the effect I was after in this case. So when I click away, I don't see the border, I just see the bits of text. So they can be moved to be more appropriate, perhaps near his head. So the stacking order is important, but not until you've got at least 2 objects crossing over each other on a worksheet.